Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching and reacting to a few videos over here from Colossal Bioscience, the official channel of Colossal Bioscience, the de-extinction company. And they recently, I didn't know this was even a thing, to be honest with you, but they recently brought back an extinct animal. It's been extinct for 10 to 12,000 years. The good old direwolf, the ethics of direwolf de-extinction. So we're gonna watch, check out, and see a few of these things. The link to the channel will be in the description down below. Follow along. The world's first de-extinction company uses genetic technology to bring back extinct keystone species like woolly mammoth, dodo, and the Tasmanian tiger. They're bringing back the thylacine. The thylacine died, what, 100 years ago, I want to say. Dodos died out, what, like 150, 200? I don't know the exact date. Through this channel, you'll learn about this process of behind de-extinction, why de-extinction is critical in managing biodiversity crisis, how genetic technology is being used as a species preservation strategy for conservation organizations around the world. Wow. Scientists predict we could lose 50% of all species on Earth by 2050. That's kind of crazy. But if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, like, what's the percentage of species that have lived on Earth and have completely died out at this point in time? With 99%, right? It's got to be 99.999% of species, or something crazy like that. I don't know the exact number, but it's got to be some weird percentage like that. We're working to prevent that from happening by restoring critical keystone species that have gone missing from the ecosystem. Is direwolf a critical species? It hasn't been around for 10,000 years. Is it that critical? We can prevent the cascading effects of mass extinction. All right, so yeah, we're gonna check out a few of these videos. The first direwolf howl in over 10,000 years. Let's listen to it, baby.
Over 10,000 years ago, a howl was lost to time.
Oh. No longer extinct.
But today it returns.
This is like some Jurassic Park level stuff, ain't it? Is that the first howl?
And Romulus.
Remus and
the first
Romulus.
Two direwolves since the Pleistocene era.
I like the names. They're
At just
cute.
15 days old, the pups take their first wobbly steps before a much-needed nap time.
So they did a lot of gene editing, right? They probably got all this DNA from these ancient fossils. Did a bunch of gene editing,
At 1 month,
some
the pups
CRISPR
enter
level
a pivotal
stuff.
stage of development. The transitional phase. Here they begin to growl, chew, and take the first steps into the world beyond the den.
I can't hear it. The music's too loud. I want to hear them, not the
But growing
music,
up is
the
no
rock
small
music.
task, and these little ones have certainly earned their rest. Three months in,
That's
the
them?
pups begin socialization.
Wow.
A key phase in their development. Weaning starts gradually.
I mean, honestly, there's not too much of a difference between this and like a regular wolf, right? And I'm sure they're born of like a regular wolf mother. Dire wolves are meant to be really, really big, though, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming these guys will get massive. I mean, they did the gene editing, splicing stuff. I think the next video we'll go into detail on that.
While play sharpens their instincts and strengthens their bonds.
What is this? What is this like little jazzy edits going on?
And with a mouthful of growing teeth, chewing is serious business. Antlers and sticks help keep their fangs fit and strengthen their bones.
Is this like a trailer for their next video or something, or just the whole project in general? Like, the music
At 5
is too
months,
much.
A new instinct awakens.
Hunting?
The pups begin to sense structure, challenge one
Oh.
another, and learn the rules of the
Oh.
pack. This stage is marked by rapid growth and an emerging awareness of social hierarchy.
They're cute. Can't deny that. Most animals are cute.
Tussles, tackles, and toothy grins. Roughhousing may look like play, but it's serious practice for life in the pack.
So they were born in October of last year. I'm really curious to see when they'll be fully grown. They don't seem too big now.
But wait, there's more. Meet Khaleesi,
Oh.
the first female direwolf brought back from extinction.
Nice.
She
It's
may
gonna
be
be
small now, but she's destined to stand as an equal among her brothers. A
Brothers?
fierce force in the making.
I thought they would be like, you know, a mate or something, pup date. I don't know. Let's go back. The music was a little much. I'll be honest with you. The music was a little much. So hopefully this video doesn't have an excessive amount of music. 'Cause I want to hear them talk. I want to hear the pups howl and whatnot.
Everyone likes to talk about the climate crisis, but we
Okay, so I think this one's going to go into detail because it's 12 minutes long. Direwolf is no longer extinct, and this is a story of how Colossal made it happen. Discover the advanced tools and technologies behind the revival of the direwolf. While this breathtaking matters for the future conservation and what it means for endangered species across the globe.
We're actually in a biodiversity crisis, and that's absolutely critical to our way of life. So if all of these species go extinct, then we'll have full ecosystem collapse.
Some scientists
True.
have estimated that by 2050, half of all species that are alive today will be extinct. The truth is
But there
that
could also
extinction
be-
happens. Extinctions have happened throughout evolutionary history.
There can also be
But
other
right
things
now,
that
the rate
get
of
into that
extinction
niche.
is estimated to be 1,000 to 10,000 times faster than the base rate in the fossil record. And a lot of that is our fault.
It's pretty
We
exorbitant.
need a solution.
That's pretty expedited, isn't it? We need a solution, everyone. The solution is Colossal
the world's first
Bioscience.
de-extinction company, and we combine de-extinction with species preservation, and our goal is to make extinction a thing of the past.
Colossal
Biosciences
develops
Oh.
cutting-edge technology to protect
I didn't see
biodiversity
any of
and
this.
reverse-
They did a bunch of interviews with like all these late night hosts and whatnot. That's why I didn't know anything about this. I don't like late night hosts and whatnot. This sort of stuff, it just doesn't intrigue me. I don't tune in for that.
extinction.
People think it's a scary word, de-extinction. They immediately put us with Jurassic Park, and it's
Yeah,
not.
it's cool.
We're trying to develop these new techniques.
No, you want to be Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is cool. Everyone loves Jurassic Park. You want to strive to be Jurassic Park.
In order to save animals, in order to bring back animals that, in some cases, were our fault that we don't have them any longer. It wasn't a climate problem, it was a human problem.
I think we all share the deep concern about what's happening to biodiversity, what's happening to the planet, what's happening.
What was her title?
We all share the deep concern about what's happening to
Indigenous
biodiversity,
Advisory
what's happening to
Board.
the planet, what's happening to people whose lives have been intertwined with
I'm gonna
wild
put the
nature
subtitles up
since
here.
before time began. And so coming together is so exciting because I think that's how we can really drive change.
We're finding solutions to restore a species back to the wild. The purpose of that is to serve an ecological function. As we
What
lose
ecological
species
function
within
does a
an
direwolf
ecosystem, If
serve?
you think of a Jenga puzzle, you're sort of pulling blocks out of there.
Chief
Those
animal
blocks that
officer.
are creating the instability in the ecosystem is literally the function that animal plays. If we can find ways to restore animals that provide that specific function, we can create more stability within an ecosystem.
We've announced 3 species, the woolly mammoth, the thylacine, and the dodo. But one of the things that's absolutely critical to ecosystems is predators, as we've seen with what's happened in Yellowstone with the reintroduction of wolves back into the park. They've shown that they've even reshaped the river systems. They've brought back beavers, they've brought back songbirds. And so we felt that it was very important for us to bring back the direwolf.
Direwolf.
The direwolf is the first species that we're bringing back at Colossal.
I wonder, like, just how close genetically are dire wolves to modern wolves? Because, I mean, we saw the video of the direwolf pups, right, playing around. They looked exactly like a regular wolf. I mean, it looked like that,
The
right?
dire wolf, which most people think is just a mythical creature, was actually
That's
a keystone
weird.
species that was not only endemic to the United States and mostly Americas, but it was actually culturally important to some of the biggest indigenous early tribes in America. So we thought if we could use it as an opportunity where we can also develop technologies that can help wolves, we thought it was the right first project given how important wolves are to ecosystems.
So they're gonna breed, or they're gonna genetically modify and breed and bring back dire wolves, and then they're gonna release them back out into the U.S. I mean, I'm assuming like the Rocky Mountain area, right? Okay.
One of the challenges when we started working on the direwolf was that we knew of only 2 direwolf specimens in the world that contained some usable DNA. One of our
Wow.
direwolf samples was a single tooth, and then another was a 72,000-year-old skull. So we were
That's
able
kinda
to
old.
use these specimens and isolate this ancient DNA out of them.
For the direwolf, there was a massive study that did many samples across multiple institutions. And Colossal took 2 of those samples and was able to generate whole genome sequences from each. And so this is incredible for any species, let alone species that have been extinct. So what you can do is you can map that to its closest living relative. So at Colossal, we're using the gray wolf, and we've been able to generate such a high quality genome that we can map back to create our own direwolf reference genome.
So
When we edit different lines of genetically diverse gray wolves, we'll create a set of genetically diverse dire wolves with similar edits, but the basis of their diversity already existed within the gray wolf.
how massive of a difference is there between a gray wolf and a dire wolf, though? That's what I want to know. I hope they go into detail of that.
Gray wolves are on the endangered species list, and that means you can't just go in and collect the samples that we want.
Typically, people have to take a ear punch or a skin biopsy, and sometimes it's a very invasive process for the animal. We've developed a technology where you can take a simple blood draw, isolate these specific cells in the blood, and then clone from it.
We're changing the genome of this living animal partially into the genome of the extinct animal for those genes that matter, for the traits and characteristics that we want to see in that animal.
Discovering which parts of the genome make an animal look and act like that animal is one of the hardest problems in biology. It is unsolved and something that we have to solve if we want to know which parts of the genome we want to edit to make a gray wolf more like a dire wolf.
To analyze our genomes, to compare direwolves with gray wolf genomes, we use our tools on a platform built by FormBio. It's a bioinformatics.
What is going on here? FormBio. Skeleton phenotype, growth size, body, region phenotype. Skeleton phenotype, deleterious? Never heard of that. Tolerated, variance mod. I don't know what any of this genome symbol, name, variance. No clue what any of this means. I'm not smart enough for that, obviously, right?
Informatics company that spun out
I hate that this like wolf skull background, like that would distract me.
of Colossal. They built this whole bio. It's a bioinformatics company that spun out of Colossal.
This isn't real. This isn't real. This is not. This is like. Look, this isn't real. You can see the image like moving with the camera. There's and then like the bezels aren't. Oh, you can even see it. Look, it for momentarily, it's in front of whatever this is. I guess this is a person. Yeah, look, you can see here. Look where my mouse is. There's something else under the monitor. This is weird. Look right there as well. And then it's gone. How strange. But yeah, you can see, look, you can see the bezel here, and then it kind of crops out over here, but like it just doesn't match up. And then it goes, it's like thick here, and then it's like almost all the way to the top here. Why even fake something like this? Why? That's weird. That's very weird. I don't know why they would do that.
An informatics company that spun out of Colossal. They built this whole suite of analysis tools and algorithms
Why not just take a photo
that
or
allow
video
us
of the
to
actual
find the
analysis
differences
tools instead
between
of faking
the
it?
direwolf genome and the gray wolf genome and filter out these differences that we actually want to edit. And so we aligned our direwolf reads to the gray wolf genome. That allowed us to know exactly where the gray wolf differed from the direwolf. One of the most exciting differences that we found in the direwolf genome is that there is a change in the L-coral gene.
What does that do?
L-coral is a key regulator of animal size.
Ah, okay, so this will make the
Next, we have
direwolf
to use
bigger.
gene editing technologies. We have cells growing in a dish in a lab that belong to a gray wolf. And so these have gray wolf genomes. Now we've decided which part of that genome we want to change. So one at a time, we take our gene editing tools and we go into that cell and we cut out the bit of DNA that looks like a gray wolf and paste in its place the DNA that looks like a direwolf.
Each time you edit the gene in a cell, you put a lot of stress on that cell because you have to get your gene editing tools in these.
So, if I'm understanding this right, they took and sampled and looked at the DNA of a direwolf, and then they took the DNA of a gray wolf, and they edited the DNA of the gray wolf to look like the DNA of the direwolf. They didn't do any like weird, I don't know, DNA splicing. They just completely edited the gray wolf DNA. So technically, they're just mutated gray wolves that resemble dire wolves now. Am I understanding that correctly? Is that what is that what I'm understanding?
These cells, and then these changes are made. So what we do instead is we try to make dozens or hundreds of changes at once. It's called multiplex gene editing.
So now we have cells growing in a dish in a lab that have DNA that makes them a little bit more dire wolf-like than gray wolf-like. We have to transform these living cells into actual pups. And for that, we use a process called cloning, or somatic cell nuclear transfer. This is the same process that most famously brought us Dolly the sheep.
Oh, they didn't do like in vitro
You
fertilization or
take
something
an egg,
or whatever
an
it is?
oocyte from a wolf or a dog. You take out its own DNA and you stick that direwolf cell in it.
That cell becomes an embryo that's a direwolf. It's no longer a domestic dog, which sounds totally science fiction. And with the
Domestic
help
dog?
of a vet
What do you
team,
mean? What does she mean by domestic dog? I thought they used gray wolves.
we then are able to surgically put this embryo back inside to the surrogate dog.
Okay,
We have to
so
find
they did
an
do
appropriate
the
dog
surrogate
that can
stuff.
carry our direwolf.
Dog?
Everyone is thinking very critically about each step.
Dog?
So that when that pup is finally born, we know there aren't any issues.
Why are they saying dog? They didn't, okay.
The safety of all of our surrogates for any of our species is the highest priority. We have an overemphasis on our animal husbandry team to secure their safety, as well as are pursuing on the science side our own exogenous development team so that one day we won't have to use surrogates.
The most exciting part is when the vet team comes in, they do their ultrasound and they say, yeah, congrats, you're gonna be a puppy mom, or you're gonna have a cub on the ground in a couple weeks. After the pups are delivered, there's a care team in place. They're there to make sure that our direwolf pups are happy and healthy, and that mom has gone through delivery without any problems. And then we have another team that will ensure that
Show
our
us
pups
videos of the
have the right
direwolves.
dynamics. They
I wanna
have the
see-
right social.
I want to see the videos of the direwolves pups. I'm sure they've videotaped every like moment of their life, right? Show me that video. I don't want to see the video of these pups. I want to see the direwolf pups.
Structures.
We're working actively right now with partners today to make sure that there are solutions and places for these animals to go in the future. And it's really important to say that all of this is done in this massive network.
It's critical to work with private landowners, local governments, indigenous people groups, and the public at large to do that in a way that's safe and publicly accepted, but also it's good for the ecosystem and the animals themselves.
What we're doing is having all of this collaboration in place well before we have these animals, and this is absolutely critical to making this work successful.
I mean, that's one way to get like funding and whatnot.
We're a part of the evolutionary stream of the planet. We're kin to every other species out there. And so because we have the ability to shape the world, I think we have a responsibility to correct our mistakes from the past.
What we do.
I mean, it's not our mistake the dire wolves died, though. So I mean, I understand like the greater message he's saying there, but like in response to the dire wolves, which is what this video is mostly about, right? Or I guess, I mean, it does say the making of a colossal dire wolf, so technically that, like, the humans didn't have anything to do with the extinction of the dire wolves. It was we were leaving the ice age. It was the end of, well, I mean, technically we're still in an ice age, but it was the end of that level of ice age.
Today is, I think, what the hope for the future is for biodiversity and for nature. And so to be on sort of the ground floor of creating a tool that will be the solution for our biodiversity crisis is the most motivating thought that I could ever have.
What we're doing at Colossal has never been done before.
I hope everyone around the world is leveraging the technologies that we develop here, and I hope that biodiversity loss and extinction is just a thing of the past.
The idea of being able to have dire wolves again is tremendously, personally exciting. And I think it's going to be exciting to a lot of people.
I think the way, it's going to sound a little morbid, I think the way to get this extremely funded and pushed is if you can offer it to allow people to eat these animals. People, there's gonna be some billionaire out there that's like, yeah, bring back, you know, the giant sloth. I want to eat a giant sloth. You know, there's gonna be a billionaire out there that's gonna want that, and he'll fund the whole project.
The first time I see a dire wolf, oh my God.
Dire wolf's a big fluffy dog that I probably wouldn't pet.
I think it's going to be amazing in a lot of ways.
I'm really excited to see the birth of this dire wolf pup and all the hard work that all of the teams have contributed to. There's so many people that have had their hand in this that it's just fulfilling for us to see, okay, we did it. We produced something that is magnificent and science fiction at its finest.
Here's the pup. We get to see the pup finally. We don't get to hear him because the music's still playing, like the last video. Like, the music is overshadowing them. I think that's a poor editing choice. We want to hear them. I want to know what their surrogate mother looked like. They kept saying dog. I thought they used a gray wolf as a surrogate, but they kept saying dog. Colossal. Thanks for watching is what this is going to say here. Or Colossal Bioscience, not Colossal. Thanks for watching. The value of the business of the company is worth $10.2 billion. I'm very curious to see who funded them. A Series A funding round. Additional $150 million funding putting the company's valuation. Conservation Advisory Board, $50 million funding. Like who's funding them? Another in a series. The company secured $200 million Series C funding, bringing their valuation $10.2 billion. Because it launched with a 15 million seed round. So here's on Ford. Wow, the founders are very notable people. It's very interesting. They of themselves are notable people, but looks like private investors include Oscar winners Peter Jackson and wife, former the top Amazon executive Jeff Wilk, video game pioneer Richard Garriott. Wow. Others, Robert Nielsen, Rick Edelman, Brandon Fugel, Paul Tudor Jones, all these people here. The TWG Global Investment values Colossal at $10.2 billion after raising $435 million in total. They're worth $10.2 billion, but they've only raised $435 million. That's wild. That's kind of wild. It's very wild. They have a few more direwolf videos I want to take a look at. Well, the legacy of coexistence with nature featuring Mo brings plenty. I want to take a look at this.
Deep in the northern United States lies a secure, expansive ecological preserve designed to support the world's first direwolves in over 12,000 years. With an on-site care facility and management zone, the direwolves receive round-the-clock monitoring, veterinary support, and enrichment to ensure their well-being.
I want to see more video. Show me just. Is there a live feed of them? Oh, that'd be great if there was like a live feed of them, of their like facility, like a 24/7 live feed. This is their habitat. 2,000 acres. 2,000 acres for 2 direwolves. Soon to be 3.
Hey, right now we're sitting in the middle of this beautiful, secure, expansive ecological preserve that our direwolves call home. This is an American Humane Society certified facility, which means that they've gone around and they looked at all aspects of what this area can provide for our direwolves. Everything from tons of space, as you can see, to enrichment, opportunities for them to express a lot of different behaviors such as hunting or hiding, sleeping, all the things that you would want to do if you were a wolf. We've been working with American Humane to try to identify what are the key welfare components that we should be focusing on so that we can make sure that our direwolves experience optimal welfare. As you might imagine, security is a paramount concern for us and for our direwolves, not just for the safety of the animals, but also our staff. In addition to multiple layers of fencing that help keep the wolves in and keep the people out, we're always monitoring the animals and the area around them. So there's loads of cameras that check in on the animals from anywhere across the world. There's also drones that do laps around the facility to make sure that nobody's
Can we
here
watch
that
those
shouldn't be
cameras?
here. And then we have every layer of personnel and containment that you could imagine to make sure that these wolves are leading the happiest, healthiest, safest life possible. So right behind you over there is our direwolf husbandry facility. It's a state-of-the-art animal management facility that allows us to bring the animals from this expansive preserve into a more intensive management area. The building allows for Colossal's animal care professionals to get up close and personal with the wolves every single day so that we can closely monitor their health and welfare.
They have 4 dens?
So we're really excited to be opening up Colossal's on-site veterinarian clinic.
Oh, look,
it's
we
a
actually
state-of-the-art.
get, what is this? Oh no, I thought this was going to be like a size difference, but it's not.
The
So they're not
direwolves are
full-grown
grown and
adults
maturing.
yet.
They've been fed a prescribed diet that consists mostly of ground meats and dry
Yeah.
kibble. As they begin to mature,
Oh.
we're starting to
See, kibble's not good. Kibble's not good for animals. You shouldn't feed your dogs kibble. You should just feed them. You should just feed them meats. You don't need to feed them kibble. Kibble. I know. The scientist man is telling me, right? Is saying, we're feeding them kibble when I'm a nobody saying kibble is bad, but you can go and do a lot of research on kibble. The whole thing is not good for the animal's health.
introduce what we call whole prey items or even carcasses. That type
Yeah,
of
do
feeding
that.
structure is really important to creating social pack dynamics and allowing them to begin to figure out their hierarchy within the pack.
So there you have it, the colossal, expansive ecological preserve. Through advanced science, responsible stewardship,
That's cute.
and unparalleled care, we're
All right. Yeah. Sure. I'm not really interested in watching the rest of these videos, to be honest with you. I'd much prefer, I don't know. I'd much prefer just like something without the music or talking. I just want to see the animals, you know? Do we have... This is what I wanted! See, this is exactly what I wanted. This is great. This is cute. I like that. So this was recorded back in October, right? Oh, I haven't watched this one yet here. Lamb and his team, or Colossal Bioscience, have brought back the direwolf. Fascinating conservation available. Yeah, I haven't watched this one. This is the one that came out yesterday. I've not seen it, but I definitely want to. Yeah, maybe I'll learn a little bit more about it on there. First pups. I saw something about YouTube here. What is this? Watch the pups grow up on It is colossal. YouTube, it is colossal. Let's take a look. Maybe this is exact. Oh, no, it's not. It's the same. I just want to see. I want to see a live feed. I want to be able to watch a live feed of the dire wolves. That's what I want. I want a live feed of them. Okay. Well, the link to the video will be in the description down below. If you want to check it out, go and check it out. Or I guess the link to the channel will be in the description down below. And I'll catch you on the next one, okay? Take care. Goodbye.